What's up, YouTube? This is Charter Oaks Firearm Channel checking in. What we have for you, what we have for you guys today is some concealed carry handgun options in a budget-minded view, specifically in the 5 band states. Considering that we can only have 10-round mags. I live in Connecticut; it's the maximum capacity here. And if you live in these states that don't have gun bans, maybe you guys might want to check these out just for their concealability and as well as how great these guns really are on for the budget. Okay, let's get to it here. Well, let's get to our first firearm here. The first firearm that we have here in the back is the Sky Model CPX2. This gun MSRP is for $300 and it comes with a no questions asked lifetime warranty. This warranty will carry over whether it's the first buyer or it's the second buyer of this firearm. You are going to have the no questions asked lifetime warranty, and the no questions part about that is they're not going to ask questions on how the gun broke or whatever. No matter what happens, you could send it in and they will give you a new firearm, no questions asked. And so with that being said, let's get into a little about this firearm. It's a 3.1 inch barrel. It's chambered in 9mm. It's got 3-dot sights. The frame of this gun is a Zytel polymer. As you guys can see, it has a recoil cushion along the back strap, which, is very convenient for the price point, fine machining. Then we have the stainless steel slide with, obviously, serrations here. And then we have the stainless steel barrel as well as the steel guide rod and guide rod spring, which are one piece. So hammer fired, double action, 10-pound trigger. The gun weighs 16 ounces. It comes with two 10-round mags. As you guys can see here, I have the finger extension or pinky extension there. It also comes with some flat plates as well, whatever you like for concealed carry. I personally like the pinky extension because it gives you a little more grip there. Some people might think it snags, but I don't think so. Okay, so let's talk a little more about this. Your slide release is right here. Some people think it's oversized, but in my opinion, I'd rather have it, bigger just due to the fact that it's going to be easy to find. You're not going to be fumbling around with it, so that's just very nice. This assembly pin is right here, and to disassemble this gun or field strip it, you just pull the pin, drop the slide, and out come the slide barrel and guide rod spring, which is one piece, which is very nice. It's something for a $300 price point nobody else has, let alone guns that are more expensive. Typically, they're two pieces, and I would rather have the one just because it's quicker to put back together and field strip it and assemble it. And exactly, you're not going to be fumbling around with these parts, losing them, dropping them on the floor, on the ground, getting them dirty, whatever the case may be. It's very convenient for your $300 price point. As I said, it's a double action trigger pull, 10 pounds. People on YouTube said they were testing it at 9, which is nice. I prefer the heavy trigger pull for a concealed carry gun, just so you're not drawing this gun out your holster or drawing it out of your pockets, like what waistband, whatever the case may be. You're not going to be drawing that firearm and accidentally shooting yourself or harming somebody that you're not intending this gun to harm. So with that being said, it makes a very safe option for concealed carry, and I believe safety is definitely the first priority for me here. Okay, exactly. Let's discuss some other things about this gun. I saw on YouTube that people had some issues firing this gun. They're saying it's failure to chamber around, and it's not the case. It's just the fact that it's it's a long trigger pull and it's a long reset. You have to bring your trigger all the way back up for the gun to reset and chamber the net and be ready to fire. And there's a lot of people on YouTube, that shoot this gun and they don't let the gun reset. The trigger reset. It's not the gun that's malfunctioning. It's obviously the shooter that's malfunctioning, and it's something that you're going to want to, research, and you're going to obviously need to know about this, and that's what the gun's designed for safety. And obviously, if you're not familiarized with that, you might malfunction the gun, and that's on the shooter. That's not on the firearm itself here. And let's talk about, as I said, two 10-round mags, 9mm. It's definitely something that you would like to consider, especially in these banned states. And the reliability of this firearm is just outstanding. Glock is supposed to be like the most reliable firearm out there. They're like, all those guys out there that love Glock. I was actually shooting this gun next to a guy who was shooting a Glock 43 at the range, and it's also chambered in 9mm. It's a single stack, and as you guys know, single stacks are supposed to chamber or function better than feed better than a double stack or staggered stack magazine like we have here. So with that being said, exactly, I believe this gun's very reliable. I've had no problems with it. It's functioned completely fine with me, and I would put it up to the $500-600 guns that are out there, and this is coming in at $300 MSRP, which makes a great option for a budget handgun for concealed carry. Let's move on to the second gun that we have here. The second gun that we have here is a Harrington & Richardson Model 732 revolver, chambered in .32 Smith & Wesson long. This is a very cool gun here. I picked it up for $150. It's so let's get into it a little bit. It's blued steel, one solid piece. It's one solid frame. It's got plastic grips on there, but you can replace them with others. What's really cool about this gun is it is 6 shots, even though it's not as powerful as your 357 38 Special. But it's pretty close up there with your 38 Special, and you're putting out 750 feet per second. You're looking at 125 to 150 foot-pounds compared to your 9mm, which is 1,200 feet per second, and 335 foot-pounds on your standard ball ammunition. The foot-pounds that you get out of the 38 Special are going to be around 200 or so. So this gun's not that far off, considering typically your most 38 Specials out there are going to be 5 shots, and you do get this extra chance with this gun. This H&R may not be the gun that you would prefer first for your concealed carry option, but it's something that I concealed carry as a backup to my Sky CPX2. You can ankle holster it, put it in your boot, put it in your pocket. And, specifically if it's in your boot or an ankle holster and you find yourself in a firefight where you end up shooting all 10 rounds through your Sky and your spare mags in your pocket, and it's going to be a hard thing to get out, and you have this, in your boot or your ankle holster, and it's going to be much easier to just pull this out and, draw and put 6 shots down range quicker. And it's just, it's something in that scenario where you might want to consider. And another cool thing about this, which makes it great for concealed carry, depending on where you are, say you're going to, your family member's house for, Thanksgiving Day gathering or Christmas or, Kwanzaa, whatever holidays you guys might celebrate, whatever your religions or beliefs are. This gun is only having, it's 13 inches of penetration with hardball ammunition, and you throw, clothing on. It's, it's up here in Connecticut, especially in the wintertime, like heavy clothing. You're probably only going to see around 10 inches there, So with that being said, that's a great option. Exactly. If you have neighbors, you have a wife, kids, you live in an apartment family, you're not going to over penetrate with this round. And it's exactly, you're not going to exit them, you're not going to go through them and possibly harm somebody that it's not intended to harm. So that's a great factor about that caliber, which makes it a great concealed carry firearm. So I only carry hardball ammunition, for the first, the military would consider this cartridge ineffective just because, the first thing that they're concerned about is penetration, and that's why I carry hardball out of my 9, just in case I need to be shooting through steel, door, glass, whatever the case may be. That's why I have the 9. But this Smith & Wesson 32 long makes a great backup because, it's going to be considered like, a get off of me gun. Exactly. You might find yourself in a close quarters combat scenario and you just pull this gun simply out of your boot or ankle holster and stick it in your assailant's belly and squeeze the trigger. It's going to get them. It's definitely going to be a get off of me type gun. They're going to get off of you if you do that. So with that being said, these are my 2 concealed carry options on a budget, and especially the 5 banned states or any other states of which you live in the United States. If you might want to consider these options as well. As I said, this is the Sky Model CPX2 and the H&R Model 732 chambered in .32 Smith & Wesson long. The Sky Model CPX2 chambered in 9mm, I believe, is the best concealed carry handgun option out there, especially if you live in these 5-ban states. Just for what it is, the price point, you're getting a lot. As I said, this gun should at least be $500-$600, and you're getting it for $300. So, in my opinion, it's the best gun out there. Every time I think about buying another gun, I put research in, look at more guns, and I'm just like, I see the Sky CPX2 in the gun store, and I'm just like, yeah, if anything, I'm just gonna buy another one of these. So with that being said, Charter Oaks Firearm Channel, checking out.